Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. What's up guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with a crypto market review. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not an expert due to your own research. Today I'm just going to review a lot of altcoins. I took recently a 2-week trip to Greece. It was an amazing time, but I really had no idea what the hell is going on in the market. So I find this is usually a good way to just figure out what's going on and just get a good idea on the general kind of overall high time frame view things. I'll just very briefly go into like Bitcoin and ETH. Like that's not really like the goal of this video. Here, I think this is a chart I did clearly several days ago. But I mean, the nice thing about doing this for a long time is that you don't need that much time to really like catch up, so to speak. Like you can just take a look at the chart and kind of have a general idea. So as you can see here, I had an idea that Bitcoin was still in this overall range. And you know, the truth is actually still the same. Like Bitcoin is within this overall range of like 50 or 60K, depending on where you want to mark the lows, all the way up to like the 74K area. Price is consolidated here for almost 3 months now, almost 90 days. Depending again where you want to set the range, you could set it even further back in late February of 2024. But the overall fact remains that this is just overall ranging. Not really any clear sort of trend yet. As I always say, there's markets move in 3 different ways: bull trend, bear trend, and just chop. And in my opinion, we're still in the chop phase. Like sure, we've been bullish in 60K, so 60 to 70 of course has been really strong move, mostly driven by the ETH ETF. But I would say that now is probably not the best time to open a fresh position. The reasons that like a rejection is probably going to come within like I would expect some sort of short rejection at a minimum. You know, anywhere from like the 72 to like 75K area. I wouldn't be surprised to see price have some sort of momentary pullback. After that, I don't know where it goes. You know, we could see it go back down to like the equilibrium of the range around 66K. You could see it go back down to like the 60K region. You can see it bounce around 66K or even higher, maybe around like 68 and then break up higher. There's just a lot of scenarios right now. I wouldn't really, still wouldn't be surprised though to see some sort of dip. If you are, I'm going to preface this video by saying that if you're looking to like get into a new position, like look for the next dip, should be pretty good. That's kind of like what I'm planning to do for any new fresh position. I do have some orders filled now already for some of my active positions, but I am really looking for price to maybe go a little bit higher and then maybe have some deeper correction that might last a few days. Like, and you could maybe argue that it already hit that point right around May 21st, 23rd, 22nd, 23rd. This right here might have already been that little correction. But I don't know. I guess let's just go ahead and see. I mean, this is a region where you will see some corrections, and I do expect something similar to this price action, actually a little bit higher. So anywhere like a little bit higher, maybe like 74K, 75K. That's where I wouldn't be surprised to see like a few days of pullback, in which case you'll want to go ahead and bid some altcoins. So. Yeah, that's kind of my overall outlook for BTC. Still choppy, but like you could also have the plan of just straight buying above 74K, and that's totally fine. You're just going to buy higher, but like it's a lot safer because after it breaks this range to the upside, it should be pretty good for a little while, in my opinion. It chopped around for several months and going to go higher. Brief look on ETH. ETH to like, I mean, you know, Bitcoin has had such a strong run, but ETH is now not even at 4K yet, and still like decent ways away from 5K. Like this seems to me like a very free trade. Like, you know, if you're going in with size, like I don't know why you don't just like pile in now. I mean, sure, you can use TA right now as like a general bad area to get in, and I totally like can understand and respect that. Like this is not the best time to enter, but like if you're okay eating some sort of drawdown and you're okay just like maybe DCAing and scaling in, like this, if you are trading big size, like this still seems like pretty free trade in which ETH goes to like at least 5K. You know, Bitcoin has already gone like far and above former all-time highs. Well, I wouldn't say far above. It's pretty much there now actually, but it did trade like above before significantly, and ETH is still 25% away from that. So like I think that we at least get close to where you can just bet a lot and assume that ETH will get somewhere around here. I don't know where it will end up, 4,600, 5K, I don't know, but it should still have a decent amount of upside. So, you know, if you do have big size, you're probably not watching this video anyway, but yeah, it still seems like a pretty reasonable area. Let's just get some shit coins now. I will check out Solana. I think the better and more important chart would probably be to check out the Sol ETH chart. And the Sol ETH chart is one that's a little bit interesting to me because it basically tracks Solana's performance versus ETH. Now, we've seen Solana vastly outperform Ethereum basically this entire bull run, you know, since the bottom of September 23, where, you know, Solana really took off and really just like was shredding. But now, ever since the ETH ETF, we've seen like a stark drop since that move. And also from a TA perspective too, it was also like a good area for it to pull back at. I think that this probably area is an area where Sol ETH should bounce a little bit, and maybe Solana maxis will start to say, oh, like, you know, that was it, you know, it's going to go back up. But like, I think that like, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Solana continue to outperform Ethereum. I personally just hold both. So I just go ahead and just hold both. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of price action like this where Solana, like, you know, has a bounce versus Ethereum. But then I wouldn't be surprised if it goes even lower to like maybe, I don't know, 0.03 or whatever. I still think that there might be some time for this trade. You know, if you do hold both, you could consider flipping your Solana for ETH. But, you know, the bulk of returns are already like probably not bulk, but I would say like a good amount of the returns are already done. I was traveling, so I didn't take the trade, but it was something that I was heavily considering. Regardless, if you're just looking at the ETH USDT pair, ETH still looks strong. I mean, like ETF is just bullish for all things crypto, but you need to also understand that really deciding which coins that you're in is really important. Like everybody knows that Solana, like, the entire market is going to go up in USDT. The thing is that you need to find the coins that actually are going to, you know, outperform the others. And it depends on how far down the risk curve you want to go. But like, just because your coin is going up in USDC doesn't mean that like it's special, because everything is going up in USDT. So you need to find the ones that actually are outperforming. And you can do that by finding and charting coins in their alt BTC pairs, or just doing like overall market analysis, you know, or charting stuff like Sol ETH too. That also is like a good like relative comparison where you're marking your portfolio in either Bitcoin or ETH, which you should in the bull market, and seeing which shit coins outperform those. Anyways, for Sol, I think that this goes a little bit higher, like this, like at least 200s or something, and then maybe pulls back a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that. Something like $210 or something. Don't know how far the pullback will be, but still think that Sol is a really good project, or chain. Obviously, I have plenty of Sol, and yeah, just it still looks good. INJ, I think, nuked a lot. Don't really know the validity of this overall chain, if I'm being honest with you. It was like it was one of the best performers though, like for a long time. Like this went literally from like fucking what was the bottom? $1? even lower. Yeah, it was like $1 for a long time too. Just sat at $1, and it went all the way up to like $50. Like that's fuck a meme coin. You could just like buy INJ, you know, in these types of crazy moves. But I mean, as for now, I wouldn't say that it's really a screaming buy. Like it does look like it's hitting this consolidation area right around the 618 fib and interacting with some of these other daily EMAs, but I don't really see this as like a screaming buy personally. I think that it is just going to consolidate and chop around and then probably, you know, make another move up, but like I wouldn't be surprised if like this doesn't hit all-time highs for a little while, like just because it had such a strong run before that this is going to need to cool off, relatively speaking. Core, this is a coin that I am invested in. I bought it, and it's a very strong project in my opinion for the cycle. Like I'm in a lot of BTC ecosystem plays. I think it's going to be listed on Coinbase relatively soon. It was like, that's why for the big spike it, Coinbase Assets tweeted out that, you know, they're accepting Core. It looked pretty strong in my opinion. It chopped around in mid-May and formed a bottom around the 160, 150 area. And then it had a really strong last few days. Wouldn't be surprised to see it consolidate a little bit more around this $2 mark. So anywhere from $2 to $2, I wouldn't be surprised to see this ping around and just chop a little bit more. But then I ultimately think that it's going to gun for around $3 in the midterm. I think that that is like a pretty reasonable target. So something like this would make sense to me. ONDO. ONDO is another one of my bags. I think this one looks really strong. It actually looks a lot like WIF. I'll pull up the WIF chart right after this, but you can see that it had this strong run and then it hit a multi-week consolidation period. And you can see the highs and lows overall that got set. And you can see that it just chopped around for almost pretty much 2 months here. 2 months it chopped around in the same consolidation period from 70 cents to $1. And now it had its expansion period. In my opinion, it's just going to keep expanding. The reason why I think it's going to keep expanding is because you saw that price chopped around for so long right here, that when you see expansion like this after a long chop, it's not just probably like going to expand once and then just like be done. Like if this is the case, then I expect it just to be a deviation. But the longer the time that you see it chop around, the stronger the move after. And so you can take a look at this, you know, chart here. I think that it looks very similar to WIF actually, and I was actually heavily considering buying WIF as well, where you had this strong move up, and then now you're hitting this multi-week consolidation period where price kind of just chops around as it has for the last, you know, 45 days or whatever. Strong moves today, of course, but like the overall context is still that this is a chop consolidation period. Wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of pullback around like 360 or something like that. I don't know where, maybe a little higher, to still stay within the range. But if you do see a strong break, it will go for those highs right around near $5. Okay, where was I? ONDO still really strong though. Like I think that RWAs are a pretty strong narrative. And you can look at other ones in that category. Checks, I think, is another one. ONDO, OM, and also C-Pool. Those are all some like RWAs. And I have a few of those bags as well. VANRY, another one of my bags. I know I don't want to keep shilling just my bags here, but these were requests on the group, so I'm not going to, I will do obviously the requests. This is VANRY, really strong one. Another one of my bags, as I said, consolidated and formed a strong bottom right around 15 cents. In my opinion, this is going to, once it finally makes this move out of its range, you can see this daily wick here right around 19 cents, close to 20 cents, actually 19.50. Price hasn't really closed above that in a long fucking time, right? Since like kind of late April. So, you know, it's been under there for a month. And once we finally see this next move up, price already kind of got near this 22-cent mark. But given how long it's chopped, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this around 26 cents. I think that's like pretty solid, in my opinion. Yeah, would really check out 26 cents or so. And then that's kind of my overall midterm opinion. I don't know where it goes after that, but like I wouldn't be surprised to see something like this, like even higher up to 30 cents. Maker, really strong project. Again, this gets put into a lot of different categories in my opinion, but Maker looks pretty good in my opinion. I think that it's forming a strong bottom around this 382 fib, right around 2700 or so. The 200-day EMA is catching up to price. I always wanted to buy Maker bag. I just never did for some dumb reason. But I wouldn't be surprised to see more chop overall, and then maybe we eventually, you know, move up. But again, it looks pretty good. Like I think that it looks pretty reasonable. Maker's also a good example of where fundamentals don't really match up with reality, because this chart is not really good. Maker is actually an older coin. I think it's an older coin. I could be wrong. But what is it? Is it an older coin? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I knew it was an older coin, like 2018. Maker is a good example of a coin where it's fundamentally strong, but price didn't really necessarily reflect that. And we're seeing that with Lido now as well. I don't have Lido because I didn't get that as a request, but Lido is one where it's like critical strong infrastructure, excellent fundamentals, but like the token price never like moved at all. And that's mostly because investors were just selling, you know, like they're selling down. But now that investors are mostly out, I think it looks pretty strong. As you can see, Maker I wanted to buy, I have all these alerts like around $1,000. That's so funny. I have all these alerts peppered around like the $1,000 mark. And it looks like it never really came down to my levels that I wanted to buy. Such a shame. Anyways, I think it looks pretty strong. Wouldn't be surprised to see it chop around more. Would be patient though. Like, you know, anywhere from 2,700 to like 2,200, probably decent areas to consider buying. Render, one of the most popular shit coins. I did have a position in Render, but I actually recently cut it. I think I can get it a little bit lower, but the better idea is really just to just chill out, in my opinion. Don't really just like buy and hold this thing for a while. The chart itself still looks pretty good. I just wanted to be a little bit more active. I put my money into Render because I was traveling, and I intended to just hold it for a longer term bag for AI. But I still think it's going to do pretty well. I think that it's going to keep consolidating around this 980 mark, but I think you just consolidate all within this overall range of kind of 980 to like $12 and just don't even think about it. Just buy a lot here and then just chill. If you want to be more active, like there are better coins with better volatility, in my opinion. You know, Render is not one of those right now, but yeah, I think just being patient is a good idea. Beam, one of my bags, still looks strong, healthy. One of my long-term bets for this cycle for gaming. Just expecting it to just chop up here and just continue its run, in my opinion, up to like 0.36 again. These fibs are strong, but yeah, it just looks strong. Airweave is a really good one. I was really wrong. I thought this was going to break, but it really ended up not being a strong break. Not a good decision. I was actually heavily considered as buying, like right around this like kind of $44 mark or whatever. I was wrong for sure, but again, I maybe like it was just like bad analysis or just like traveling. I don't know. Where is the bottom for this thing? Like it has pulled back a decent amount. I would say that you want to look for. I mean, it's bouncing today. This kind of low around 37 looked pretty strong, but I don't really see any, like, the problem with this is I don't really see any I don't see any true support until, shit, I don't know, there's probably, like, I think it probably just goes lower a little bit. Like, now that we've seen, like, this reaction, I don't know, 35 bucks maybe. Like, you can also fib out the entire range too, like the entire move, but it already hit some of those low levels, so I wouldn't really consider that to be like a good strategy. I don't know, honestly. If I'm being honest with you, like, these levels are very unclear to me. Like, maybe 35 bucks would be like pretty reasonable. Like, this current area looks okay too. What you really want to see is, like, you want to see it just chop. You want to see it like just form a good bottom and then move up. Like this type of price action where you just like see it chop. Dimension DYM. This is a bad one in my opinion. Like if you're just buying, you're just knife catching. I don't know where it ends. It looks like it might be curling up, but if you're going to buy at any point, you're really just knife catching. I'd much rather buy this on the way up and not low, because you don't know how low this could go. I wouldn't be surprised, like, again, if it just goes even lower, to like the $2 mark. But I'm much happier to buy this on the way up. Like, if you look at the price action for Jupiter, JUP, that's like a good chart to like kind of look at, in my opinion. But anything you do around here is just a knife catch. That's not to say that there's not good upside, because there really is good upside for these types of coins, but you kind of have to have the balls to like jump in. Phantom, I have a bag of this. I think that it's really strong. Rebranding to Sonic should be really solid. Rebrands are generally very bullish, and I think that price looks pretty solid. Like, it chopped around and formed a strong base right around this kind of 60-cent mark to 75-cent mark, and it pulled back ever since hitting $1. But I think that it's going to do something like this. This is my prediction for something like Phantom. I think it looks pretty good though. Wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a steeper deep pullback around a $1 mark, but I don't know. Like, I think that it's definitely looking pretty strong in the midterm though. I'm not saying it's going to bust through all-time highs on the first go too, by the way. I expect like a pretty steep pullback once it hits like this $1.20 area. Like, it wouldn't at all surprise me to see something like this, like where it pulls back. But still, strong coin. Am I selling you to buy now? No, not really, honestly. Like, I would like to see it chop around a little bit more on this 80-cent mark. It could certainly go back within the range too of 70 cents. But still looks like pretty reasonable coin, in my opinion. Link, still a strong coin in the short term. This has actually done pretty well relatively to the market. Don't think that, like, it's just been a very safe coin. You're not going to buy this one for like the strongest gains. But if you look on high time frame charts, it accumulated for like literally 500 plus days. Had an expansion from $5 to $20, strong move. Like, you could have just, I remember I bought this too, and like, would I have 4x my money in other coins? Like, yeah, if you bought like Solana, of course it's going to outperform this, but I mean, overall, like, still just like a good, safe, steady coin. Like, again, it hit this kind of accumulation period around $14 again, but wouldn't be surprised to see it like kind of move up to like this $20 range again, pull back, and then let's see. But I do think it's going to go to this next $20 to $30 range. Like, Link has shown that there's like these different trading ranges that it likes to be in. So it could be anywhere from like $12 to 20. That's where it's at now. Before, it was at this $5 to $10 range. Now it's at this $12 to $20 range, and now it's probably eventually going to go from this $21 to $30 range, where you see price kind of go up, break into the next level, have a nice run, and then chop around for another while, and then gun again for those highs. I don't know when it's going to happen. It might take a while. Still pretty good upside though, in my opinion. Link, I did a post on this the other day, but like coins like Link are good for a lot of people who are less active in the market that just want to like buy and just chill. They'll know that the number will go up, but you're not going to have the strongest returns for sure if you do stuff like Link. So, you know, these aren't coins that are really going to make you super rich. Like, sure, it might go like up, you know, a few X, but it's not going to pull like a whiff or a bonk or anything like that. So yeah, we just really think about what your strategy is going to be. GALA, I know they had a recent hack, but then like they had something in their smart contracts where they can like just like I don't know, like not be hacked. I can't remember reading about the diagnosis, but it looks pretty good, honestly. It's been chopping around this like little 4 cent to like 0.46 area, 0.5. I think it's forming a long-term bottom. It's consolidating right along this 200-day EMA. After having a really strong run up from like this 0.2 to 0.8 area, consolidation, I think it looks pretty good. And if you zoom out, like GALA was like one of these old VC chains that just got nuked to shit. But like even if it gets like somewhat close to like not even all-time highs, like it could easily pull a 10x from here and not even get close to all-time highs. From 0.4 to like 40 cents or something like that. It's still like all-time highs are still a long ways away, like near $1. So yeah, this thing could still hit a 20xer, right? But I think it looks pretty good overall. Like it's a decent idea if you have the patience for it. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video and the support. I appreciate it very much. And please let me know if you have any other cool coins to look at. Cheers.